Coming up on Cedar Valley today, opponents of Wartburg's women's basketball team are in for some double trouble. Both of Wartburg's basketball teams start conference play tonight. And an old-fashioned restaurant is still going strong. This is Cedar Valley today. Good morning and welcome to Cedar Valley today. I'm Kaylin Thompson. After a historic Cinderella run to the Final Four last season, this year's women's basketball team is back and dominating their opponents. Join us now with Cedar Valley today's Sam Sides to tell us a little bit more about their secret weapons.
Well, Kaylin, the team is undefeated and ranked top 10. Part of that dominance power.
They say that there's a certain connection between twins that no other pair would understand.
Katie Summer will drive, find her twin sister. Christy will put a shot up, and it's summertime.
But with Katie and Christy Summer on the roster, the Wartburg women's basketball team gets a little taste of that bond.
Here's Katie Summer with it. Takes a screen from Miranda Murphy. She kicks it out to her sister. Three ball, that's good, it's summertime.
Katie and Christy have been playing basketball together since they were kids. And though they've seen some tough matchups on the same team, they say that the toughest competition has always been each other.
We've always been competitive with each other, and I think that was really beneficial to us, not only on the basketball court, but off the court. And it encouraged us to work hard in everything we did just because we wanted to beat the other one. Yeah.
Growing up, I was always the smallest, and I mean, she'd beat up on me all the time. But I mean, we fought head to head all the time, competitive, and that made us better. We played a lot of pig and a lot of, around the world as well. So, I mean, just different games to compete against each other.
For all of the clashes that they had as kids, though, they say that in the long run, it's all paid off.
I think it was beneficial today because we are competitive with each other, but we're competitive together now instead of against each other.
It was after they finished their high school basketball days that they realized they didn't want to stop playing. And for them, splitting up was never an option.
We play better together rather than if we went to different schools, it'd be hard to play on the court because we know each other's strengths and weaknesses. So, I mean, we're better players when we're together, so we wanted to come together to the same college.
And Wartburg couldn't be happier that they did. As juniors, both Katie and Christy already have school records to their names. Katie is Wartburg's all-time single-season assists leader, putting up 129 last season, a good chunk of which went to her sister. Christy has done a lot of her work from downtown, setting the record for the most three-pointers made in a game in school history. They both know that they're going to have to separate eventually, but for now, all Katie and Christy can do is savor the time they have left.
I mean, we had 4 more years to be together because I know once we graduate here, we're going to be, separated. I mean, she's going to law school, I'm going to grad school, so we're going to separate eventually, but we wanted to finish the 4 years together.
The Summer Twins will graduate next year. So until then, you know that whenever you see a women's game at Levick Arena, even in the dead of winter, you can get a taste of summertime. Sam Sides, Night Vision.
The next time the Summer Twins and the rest of the women's team will suit up will be tonight at 6 p.m. You can catch that one on Night Vision. Kaylin?
Thank you, Sam. The 9th-ranked women's basketball team welcomes Iowa Conference newcomers Nebraska Westland to town. The ladies in orange and black are currently undefeated, winning all 4 of their games by 18 points or more. Their last game was at home against UW-Eau Claire, and they won by a score of 65-48. Now, as Sam says, tip-off for tonight's game is scheduled for 6 p.m., and that will be in Levick Arena. The Wartburg's men's basketball team will also play Nebraska Westland tonight. One of the 2 teams will earn their first loss of the season. Both the Knights and the Prairie Wolves come into tonight's game with a 5-0 record. Nebraska Westland has scored at least 100 points in every game they've played this season, so this could be a tough matchup for the Knights. The game will happen immediately following the women's game tonight in Levick Arena. The National Soccer Coaches Association of America announced its all-region teams yesterday, and one Wartburg player was on the list. Junior Alyssa Hewitt was one of 5 midfielders across the northern United States named to the first team all-region team. Hewitt started all 19 games this season and contributed to 16 points on 48 shots. 65% of those shots were on target. Hewitt is one of only 2 Iowa Conference players to be named first team. And after the break, an old-style burger joint is still taking orders after several decades. Stay with us. A restaurant in Cedar Falls has been open since the 1940s and is still serving their famous loose meat sandwiches. Cedar Valley Today's Sarah Peterson has more.
Having been established since 1947, the Maid-Rite in Cedar Falls is still going strong. This local business has been through several renovations in the past, but has kept the classic diner feel that has had customers coming back for more.
We have a guest book, and we have people from all over the country that come for their Maid-Rites. And people that used to live in Iowa, and they come back. We have some that first thing they get off the airplane, Maid-Rite is where they're going.
We have a really good time when we work, and our customers enjoy. They call it putting on the show. You know, we'll walk by and splash each other with the water, or we have ketchup and mustard that is called the homemade ketchup and mustard, and it's just a string, and we get people with it all the time.
The franchise has been family-owned for 2 generations and is continuing to serve their famous Maid-Rites and homemade items that set them apart from other companies. Reporting for Cedar Valley Today, I'm Sarah Peterson.
Take a look at what's trending on social media.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Here's what's trending in social media around the Cedar Valley. The Holiday Craft Club will be at the Waverly Public Library today. The club will use their crafting skills to make bird seed ornaments. The event is from 2:30 to 3:30. No registration is required, and all ages are welcome. And Donald Trump has announced he is leaving his businesses. Trump tweeted this morning that he is preparing a legal document. He says a new news conference will be held on December 15th. His children will be at the conference, but there is no word yet if they will get his businesses. Trump says he made his decision so there aren't any conflicts of interest during his presidency. Now let's take a look at your local weather.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Retrieving Freedom is a nonprofit organization dedicated to training service dogs for disabled veterans, children with autism, and people with diabetes. Joining us this morning on Cedar Valley Today to talk about her role as a puppy foster within the organization is Merritt Beisner, joined by puppy Victor. So thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
And how did you begin your role as a puppy foster?
I've been volunteering for the last 3 years with Retrieving Freedom, and this is our third puppy. And I wanted to do something to give back to Wartburg and to help promote its unique classes that they have in relationship with Retrieving Freedom.
Okay, and so what does the role all entail? What do you have to do with Victor?
A puppy foster works on the basic commands for socializing and potty training and knowing how to behave both in the house and in the public. And so we usually foster anywhere between 9 months and a year, and then they go to the next stage of training up here in Waverly. And that's the stage that the classes, both in social work classes and leadership classes, get to work with the Wartburg students.
Okay, so progress is very important, obviously. And we'll show some video here of the Facebook page that is made for Victor's kind of journey. How did that get started?
Yeah, I had the idea, when I'm out in the public with being a puppy foster, people always ask a lot of questions. And I know that today's show, since they've had 2 puppies, have really generated a lot of interest in service dogs. And so I tried to combine the Today Show philosophy of educating the public as well as promoting Retrieving Freedom and Wartburg's unique opportunities for the students to give back. And so we're going to do a whole 2-year journey. So I want the students to learn all the way from the puppy stage all the way to the final recipient at the end of the 2 years.
Okay, so what are some key things that people should take away and learn about service dogs?
The number one is when they're wearing their vest, they're working. And that's really hard because there's so many different types of service dogs these days that these service dogs will potentially help children with autism or disabled veterans. And so it's real important when they have their vest on, they're working. They should not be petted. And his number one job is to focus on the handler, not to go seek attention and to be pet. That's different than a therapy.
That makes sense. And so throughout the 2-year journey, when kind of does it get decided where the dog goes to after it's been trained?
Based on his personality and his temperament, probably the next stage, probably in about a year or so. But right now we do all different kinds of training for whatever population he might help.
And so what are some of the commands he's learned thus far in his training?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and show you place. And this is a clicker that we use at the beginning of commands. And we'll do a very positive approach to our training. When the dog's doing what they're supposed to, we treat.
Okay. And then I saw on the Facebook page something about puppy push-ups. So what does that all entail?
Okay. Okay. Come on. All right, so puppy push-ups is a fun way to exercise. Sit and down.
Okay, so a sense of exercise while also learning those commands then.
Sit. So a lot of my job as a puppy foster is basic obedience skills and good manners, both in public and in the house. And I have a unique opportunity because I'm a teacher in Cedar Falls, and so he gets to come to my classroom every day, and so I get to help teach the students about service dogs. And it's really been a joy to watch because the students go home and teach their parents about service dogs as well. So we've had a big opportunity to share about veterans, respect for our country, respect for service dogs.
Definitely, so it definitely goes full circle. Well, thanks so much for joining us this morning. And to keep up with Victor's progress, you can follow his Facebook page titled RFI's Victor's Quest. We'll be right back. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, Cedar Valley.